Yo, yo, hip hop heist, man. What up? We back at it with another reaction. Kendrick Lamar is about to take over again. Shout out to Distora with the article. This is Hip Hop Heist TV, man. We about to react. So make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. And let's get right to it, man.
Kendrick clearly hasn't made dramatic announcements or promised a new era outright, but the signs around him suggest a quiet movement that not a lot of people have noticed. The kind that usually happens right before he reclaims control of the conversation. What makes this moment feel different isn't just the possibility of new music, but how many pieces are lining up at once across music, awards, competition, and even starring in a film. Kendrick isn't teasing a comeback. He's positioning himself to dominate this year, just like he did in 24. If you guys remember that year, GNX was released, and at the time, the album felt restrained compared to some of
24 was crazy, man. I mean, I think, what was it, March? It was February 25th or March 20th or something like that, 2024, when Like That dropped, that verse on the Future. Kendrick going at Drake. And that's really what kicked off just a slow burn of Drake. And all the OVO fans. Nah, but you know what I mean? That year was crazy. It was a crazy time to start off. It's February 2026. Looks like this video is about to be about Kendrick taking over 2026. So yeah, let's keep going. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm gonna drop the mic now. Let's go.
Kendrick's past releases. It wasn't loud in its messaging, and it didn't come with a dramatic public narrative. Instead, it felt controlled, deliberate, and almost clinical.
I wanted to go back to the forefront of just the bite and just the grit of rap. Just all raps and hard-ass beats. And that's like the basics for me. I thought about, damn, what I used to like when I was a kid. Hard raps, good beats, just smacking, right? And it was a great transition from Mr. Morale, because that was my most intimate. I wanted to go inside of my own psyche and my own personal withdrawals and see how it connects with the public and who can relate. So during this time around, I think it was necessary coming out of that cocoon and feeling like, okay, I arrived now. I can spread my wings and show every state of who I am as far as Kendrick Lamar.
Visually, the project leaned heavily into blue tones, cold imagery, and minimalism. Sonically, it avoided obvious crowd pleasers in favor of structure and precision. But besides that, people picked up on something hidden in Kendrick's work. During the Luther music video and later during Kendrick's tour run, fans noticed a second car hidden beneath a red tarp. It wasn't framed as an Easter egg, but it also wasn't hidden enough to be accidental. Kendrick has built a career on symbolism that only makes sense after the fact, and this detail fits that pattern. The prevailing idea is that GNX represents only one half of a larger concept, with a companion project, often referred to as Red, completing the emotional and thematic contrast. If GNX represented restraint and calculation, a red-themed counterpart would suggest reaction, confrontation, and urgency. That would also explain why Kendrick has allowed GNX to breathe, rather than immediately following it with another announcement.
Right.
He's letting the first half settle before revealing what comes next. As you guys know, Kendrick has never rushed a pivot when timing could amplify its impact. This theory becomes even more believable when you consider what Kendrick revealed in interviews toward the end of 2025. He mentioned recording around 100 songs during the GNX sessions.
They said that they went through almost 80 to 100 songs of recording with Kendrick to get down to the 12 songs that we got on GNX.
That
crazy.
isn't
That means that there's a few more projects. You know, Kendrick is real conceptual. Kendrick is... You know, that's really interesting because, bro, that means that... I mean, bro's really sitting on something epic for sure. Yo, let me get this volume right. Yo. That's good right there, yeah. That means that Kendrick's sitting on something epic, bro. Cause everything that he does is so methodical, right? It's so thought out. It's so strategic. And then it's funny how like the universe open, like it moves out the way for Kendrick Lamar, bro. It's really nuts. It seems like Kendrick Lamar's. He's got this shit in the chokehold, bro. Let's keep going, man. I love this shit.
Information. Kendrick doesn't overproduce without intention, and historically, large vaults like that lead to unconventional releases. Untitled Unmastered didn't come from nowhere. It emerged from a surplus of ideas that didn't fit neatly into an album structure,
Right.
but still needed to exist. So,
Yeah, that was that one that had all the throwaways on it. Levitate, levitate, levitate. Remember that? Damn, that was what, 2016? Levitate, 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 something like that. That's classic, man. Kendrick is really that guy, man.
a GNX Deluxe, or a Side B, or a standalone companion project wouldn't feel like an afterthought in that context. It would feel like an extension of a creative process that was never finished in the first place.
The conversations I hear, they think it's just rap and it's not an actual art form. So when you put records like that at the forefront, it reminds people that this 50 years ago, they forget that it's even been here 50 years, right? And like kind of like belittle it. So I love to see that it gets that type of recognition for just straight raps, from awards to the billboards, all that, because this is truly just as big as an art form and a genre as any other genre.
2026 feels like one of those windows. And on top of that, a studio session was leaked with Kendrick working on a new sound with a more different sound.
I was only 16, whistling hymns of a vixen, drifting back and forth.
At the same time, Kendrick has begun reappearing in places that signal renewed activity rather than nostalgia. His feature on the Clips track Chains and Whips, alongside Pharrell Williams, is notable not just because of the collaborators involved, but because of what it represents. Kendrick doesn't jump on features casually, especially not when he's in a quiet phase. When he does, it's usually because he's re-entering the ecosystem. Features become reminders of presence, not attempts at relevance. While fans speculate about music, another conversation has been quietly reignited. The so-called Big Three discussion that dominated hip-hop in 2024 never fully disappeared, but it cooled after Kendrick's Like That verse shifted the dynamic. That balance was disrupted again when J. Cole released his surprise EP Birthday Blizzard 2026. On it, Cole revisits his 2024 apology to Kendrick, acknowledging that the move cost him credibility in the competitive hierarchy. By framing doubt as fuel, Cole effectively reopens the conversation without naming Kendrick directly. That matters because Kendrick has always thrived when competition resurfaces organically rather than being forced.
Right.
He doesn't chase validation in rankings, but he responds when the culture starts asking questions again.
Yo, what if he goes in at Cole this year? Or now that Drake's done, you know what I mean, what if he really starts responding to, you know, all the others, which would be The Game, J. Cole, all that.
Cole's EP doesn't attack Kendrick, but it reframes the narrative in a way that invites comparison. Kendrick has historically answered those moments not with interviews, but with work. Before any of that plays out publicly, though, Kendrick is standing at the center of another immediate focal point, the Grammys. On February 1st, he enters the ceremony with 9 nominations. That alone isn't new territory for him, but the stakes feel different this time. GNX is in contention for Album of the Year, and Luther is a strong favorite for melodic rap performance. A sweep would cement GNX not just as a successful album, but as a dominant one. There's also growing speculation that Kendrick may perform during the ceremony. If that happens, it likely won't be a straightforward rendition. Kendrick has used live performances in the past to signal transitions, debut new material, or recontextualize existing work. Rumors suggest a GNX medley, with the possibility of an unreleased verse or a red-themed edition. If true, that would be a classic Kendrick move, introducing the next phase without explicitly announcing it. Beyond music and awards, Kendrick's reach is about to expand into another lane entirely. His long-anticipated live-action comedy film, produced alongside South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker, is scheduled for release on March 20th, 2026. The project was delayed from 2025, which only added to its mystique. Written by Vernon Chapman, the film reportedly centers on a man working as a slave reenactor, blending satire, discomfort, and social commentary in a way that aligns closely with Kendrick's sensibilities.
That's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. We grew up on South Park already. Was it Matt Parker, Trey Stone? Trey Parker, Matt Stone? I'm not sure, bro. I'm burnt. But those guys, they're really good at what they do, especially when they're bringing into pop culture, popularity, society, they bring in the government. I think this whole last season was about Donald Trump. Like, it was crazy. It was deep, or a lot of it, not everything. They brought in ChatGPT. I seen the episode. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that Kendrick Lamar collab with South Park. They said March 20th. That's in a month and a half. And then the Grammys are tonight. So hopefully we'll get a performance. But, Kendrick is nominated for 9 Grammys. I mean, bro's walking home with something. So, yeah, man, that starts in 3 hours. That starts in 3 hours. So we will see. We'll see about that, man. But, my question is J. Cole going to... Is Kendrick Lamar going to J. Cole this year? Like, just to shut that up. Like, you my bro and all that, but you keep sneak dissing. You keep, the people are talking. We got to just shut you down. And 48 Laws of Power, says to decimate your enemy at all costs. Like, you know what I mean? So in this rap world, I know Kendrick, he's mentioned 48 Laws. So who knows, man? I feel like maybe 2026 is the year that Kendrick just walks down J. Cole, and the game is still sitting there, throwing his jabs in there. We just made some videos about that. Y'all can check those out. But yeah, man, let's finish this one out. I appreciate y'all watching. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's keep going, man.
This film matters because Kendrick has never separated his artistic identity into isolated mediums. Music, visuals, performance, and now film all feed into the same worldview. When Kendrick expands into new spaces, it usually coincides with a broader cultural push. The timing of this release, so close to Grammy season and amid renewed musical speculation, doesn't feel random. It feels coordinated. Taken individually, none of these developments would necessarily point to a takeover. Together, they form a pattern. Kendrick isn't flooding the market, but he's touching every corner of it at once. If 2026 does mark the release of a GNX expansion or a Red Companion project, it won't feel like a comeback. It will feel like the completion of a thought that began years earlier.
Right.
The same recalibration before Mr. Morale reframed his role entirely. If history holds, the question isn't whether Kendrick Lamar is about to dominate the conversation again. It's how much of it he's already controlling before the rest of the industry realizes what's happening. And by the time that realization hits, it's usually too late to catch up.
Yeah, Kendrick is a special dude, man. It's like the prophesying part, like prophesizing, and showing the people what really taking people back in history to show them what's happening now. Culture. When you think of Kendrick Lamar, it's just culture all the way around, bro. You feel me? So, yeah, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all watching. That was a good one. I'm really excited to watch the Grammys tonight. Y'all go check that out too. Support hip hop, bro. Real talk. Support hip hop. Comment on there. Comment on the Grammys. Hip hop this, hip hop that. You feel me? But yeah, man, nine nominations. He's going up against Clips, album of the year. We could look that up real quick. Let's check that out. Let's do Clips, Grammys. Okay. Boom. Let's go to the Grammys website. So, record of the year. Okay, boom. Oh, shit. This is serious. Let's close that. Deny. Record of the year, they got Bad Bunny, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii. With Anxiety, they got Billie Eilish, Rose and Bruno Mars, Chappelle Roan, Lady Gaga and Kendrick Lamar and SZA with Luther. Man, I feel like it's going to one of the TDE affiliates, you know? It's either Kendrick and SZA or Doechii. Let's do album of the year. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so big, dog. Bad Bunny, Justin Bieber, Sabrina Carpenter, Clips, Pusha T and Malice, Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar, Leon Thomas, Tyler the Creator. Wow, that's interesting. That swag record is that swag record was, I mean, that swag album was huge. Let God Sort Them Out. I mean, come on. We already know. They did that at the Vatican. Chromacopia was huge. GNX. I mean, come on. It was at the Super Bowl. Alright, so Song of the Year we go to. We got Doechii, Hip Hop, Kendrick Lamar, Hip Hop with SZA on that Luther joint. Okay, let's go down to Best New Artist. Okay, let's do Pop Producer of the Year Non-Classical. Oh shit, they got Soundwave in there, Dijon in there, Blake Mills, Circuit, Dan Auerbach. Dan is I think that's Black Keys Dan. Which is some alternative music, but yeah, that's some shit. That dude's a very, very musical inclined, skilled fella out there. But that's dope. So look, 3 hours away. We got the Grammy Awards February 1st, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, man. That's exciting. Bruno Mars is performing. Okay, boom. It says Lady Gaga, Rose, and Tyler the Creator confirmed performers. Okay, so we got Tyler the Creator in there. That's right. That's exciting. Presenters announced. We got Doechii. Shout out Doechii in there. Tiana Taylor in there. Okay, so this is gonna be fun, man. Karol G. I worked security at Karol G concert one time, years ago. Actually, they had a baby. Look that up in Fresno, California. A lady had a baby at a Karol G concert. I worked at. I actually worked the door that they wheeled her out. You know, she had a baby at the Karol G concert in the restrooms, bro. At the Fresno State College arena. And yeah, bro, I really opened that door for the lady that had just had the baby. That's kind of crazy. Karol G. She's a Spanish, you know. She sings American, but most like Spanish pop, you know what I mean? Oh, Q-Tip? No way. That's dope. Okay, Q-Tip's at the Grammys. Queen Latifah's presenting. Oh, that's dope. Carole King, wow, that's classic. Yeah, I love music, man. Especially the awards. I mean, not especially the awards, but just something like this. I'm getting really pumped up for this, as y'all can tell. It's at the Crypto.com arena right down the street. Yeah, man, this is big. Yup, and everybody at the, you know, there's so much going on. I got a list of events. I didn't go to any of them. I'm not gonna lie, but I got a list of events. So I know the Grammys is in full effect. Everybody be safe out there. If you're going to the after parties, they already started Thursday, Wednesday. But yeah, tonight's a major day for music. And we respect music, man, because it saves lives. It's sound. Sound is vibration. Vibration cures or harms, and we want it to cure, man. That's why Kendrick Lamar is doing what he's doing. It's to cure the generations, man. Let's be real. But with that being said, man, be happy, be healthy, do what you got to do to survive, like Pac said, but also be of service. Help somebody out. I feel like that's why we really here. If y'all want to go get my sticker, it's $5.55 right below this video or on the channel store tab. It just allows us to bring you this content while we pay the bills. And yeah, man. Appreciate y'all watching, bro. Let's get out of here. Peace.